And joining us live in studio is Dustin Fawcett with another segment of MOTRAN Minute. So today you have a little something different to talk about, and we're looking not necessarily at construction projects, correct?
Absolutely. So what we want to talk about today is intersection-related crashes. And on Monday we talked a little bit about a major intersection that we're improving out here, and that's in Andrews, that 176 and 1788 intersection. And actually yesterday we had a huge crash there. There's over a dozen or half dozen vehicles involved there. And something I want to talk about. It's kind of a common theme of what we have going on out here in the Odessa TxDOT district.
Yeah, very important to talk about, and we're looking at a lot of other things as well. You're saying this project is much needed.
Yes, absolutely. So intersection-related crashes are something that's long plagued the Odessa TxDOT district. We actually crash at a rate higher than the rest of the state of Texas. 41% of our crashes are intersection-related crashes, and that's something that really causes concern because it is higher than the state of Texas.
And so 41%, even though it's higher in the state of Texas, like, is that a high number? Like, break that down for us.
Right. So that means nearly half of all of our crashes out here are intersection-related, and the statewide average is 35%. So we're 5% above the average, or it's actually 36%, but 5% above the average of Texas crashes. And so anytime you have anything 5% or above a state average, that's statistically significant. That means it's something that we need to look at, and that is something that we have a problem with here in the basin.
And why do you think that these intersections are problems, and like, what can we at home do about it?
Absolutely. So mostly it's common sense. And we began a Stop Me and Stop campaign with MOTRAN. And really what the first step of that is, when you stop at a stop sign, stop, look to your left, look to your right. That time there, when you're taking it to look left and right, will allow your vehicle to come to a complete stop. We also need to, secondly, yield the right-of-way. All too often, we kind of slow down, and then we just take off going. Well, we forget that, especially at this intersection at 176 and 1788, those vehicles are traveling 75 miles an hour. And whenever we pull out in front of those, we're beginning from a stop. And the physics are against us in those situations, and we really need to yield the right-of-way. Third, we got to start using our blinkers. We really got to signal. We don't think it matters, or we turn them on as we're turning. That's really not healthy. That's not a good driver behavior. It doesn't help out your fellow drivers, and people who are aware and driving need to see what you're doing. And so really, the Stop Me Stop campaign means just really stop, take a second. A second or two can save your life, literally.
And I also feel like, too, with semis and big trucks, there's a lot in this area. It takes them a lot longer to slow down. It
absolutely does. It takes them a lot longer to slow down. And we see it. We have a certain graphic that we have on our MOTRAN website that talks about the difference between a vehicle, an 18-wheeler, and also a train, too. And these things are drastic in the differences. And it also matters that in the time that 3 seconds from the time you see a car, in 3 seconds they could have traveled an entire football field. So at that 1788 176 intersection, you see a car, hey, it's a football field away. In 3 seconds, it's right on you.
Wow. Is there anything else that you would like to tell us that we need to know?
No, except for the fact that we really just need to drive safer out there. We need to take a second and think about it. And in an instance, your life could be impacted. It's not worth it when driving. You don't need to risk it to get the biscuit. You don't need to do anything like that. Drive safe. Take that extra second. You have precious cargo. You have yourself. You may have loved ones. Really take the time.
Well, thank you so much for those helpful tips and keeping everyone safe, Dustin. And don't forget to tune in Wednesday and Friday as well this week for more MOTRAN Minute.